Great. Okay. So we have a wonderful guest today. My name's Sue Standfield. This is the first episode of Free Money, the intersection of freedom, people who are seeking freedom, wealth creation, and happiness, mostly for a Canadian audience, women audience. Been making these videos for 6 years, and I'm really honored to have from Quebec, Diane Lefebvre, who's going to explain something that she's doing that you may be interested in. So before we get into it, let's just say hello to Diane. How you doing today from Canada?
Hi, Susan. I'm doing well. It's cold, but hey, we'll have a white Christmas this year. This is good.
Oh, lucky you. We don't
Yeah.
have that in England.
Oh,
Maybe like 20 minutes of snow. The Brits freak out when it snows over here, but they love Christmas. Okay, well, let's get into this quickly because we just have 30 minutes. Diane has some great links that she's going to show you, and she's going to walk you through what she's doing, a business that she has. It's really interesting. But first of all, let's talk about freedom a little bit, and why people are on this path like you are. What's your relationship to freedom? Like when you think of your life, and freedom and what has gone on in the past 5 years in Canada. How do
mm.
you think about freedom these days, and what has that motivated you to start this business? What's that relationship like?
Well, I think I've always been minded, like a person who's for whom justice for people, for health, for the environment has always been important. But I kind of woke up to the reality of it all during at the beginning of COVID. And I was involved in the protests in Ottawa. I attended every weekend, and except for the last one where it turned very ugly, but
Right.
I was there for all the other ones. And I started very, very early. I think it was March 2020 that I started telling people something is wrong. I went, okay, let's be careful here. Something's not adding up. Unfortunately, my message didn't get across, and I wrote a 50-page paper in French,
Wow.
research that I did and everything like that, and I shared it with my family. Only one person read it, and nothing came
And
out.
that doesn't surprise me. That's all of our stories, right? We
Yeah,
were so early.
yeah, exactly. And still to this day, my sister and I are the only two that did not get the injection
Yeah.
in the whole family. So it's ongoing because no matter the amount of proof that comes out, nobody wants to hear it.
Okay,
So
so tell me
yeah,
how that may have affected what you're doing now and these
oh,
business
yeah,
opportunities. Did one lead to the other, or were you doing it
exactly.
beforehand?
Well, in a way, yes, because for me it was I have a kind of office support job at the time. Right now, I taught for 10 years science and math in Western Canada, and I worked in the environmental field and around climate change. Actually, I was teaching about climate change in 1998 before it was a thing that everybody was talking about. And now I've come around to realizing it's part of the whole scheme. And so throughout my years uh, as a working woman, I didn't make choices that set me up for a very well-off retirement. So I came to
You
a
sorry,
point,
you didn't. You did
no,
not
I
make
did
those
not,
choices.
because
Okay.
working for the environment doesn't pay off.
Yeah.
You know,
So did you find yourself like many people realizing you needed a different plan in the first few
absolutely.
years of
Yeah,
COVID?
yeah,
Okay. And so
yeah.
why don't we jump to the business?
The,
What is that?
the
What's the business
business.
name? And then
Yep.
let's look at those links.
Okay. Well, the business is the idea is it is network marketing. So people may have preconceived ideas about that, but it's not selling a product, it's selling services, services that everybody uses. And I focus on one service in particular, which is health protection for people in the US. Because right now there's a big, big, big problem with people in the US with health protection, health insurance. You know that medical death is the number one cause of personal bankruptcy in the US. And I was just watching a video clip of a young woman, I guess she was in her 30s, young, very young, on TikTok. And she's sitting on her bathroom floor and she's in tears. She's
Yeah.
enraged because she just had double mastectomy. She had cancer, breast cancer. She's 30. She shouldn't. She shouldn't. And it cost her $22,000. And she needed to get a loan for reconstructive surgery, which went really well, but she had to take out a loan. And she has been fighting the insurance company for a year now because she's basically, she's dying under the
Yeah.
amount of
So
debt that
how is
we
your
pay.
service and what you're offering going
Well,
to
that,
provide relief, or where does that come
yeah,
into play?
it does because what I offer, the service that I offer is healthcare sharing. And it is a company that is a non-for-profit. And this is what is really sick about the healthcare system in the States is that it is a for-profit system. I don't know if you remember the
Now, that's not
CEO.
necessarily a bad thing, right? You think of all the things
Oh,
that we do that is for profit, right?
absolutely.
Grocery or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, is there a point, should we bring up the slides, what what you've got to show while you're explaining this? Will that help?
Yeah, it would help. I don't think the for-profit in itself is problematic. It's problematic in certain contexts in the way that people and their disease or their health is being exploited. Because I don't know if you remember the CEO of United Healthcare in New York. I think it was December 2024. It was a year ago. He was shot dead
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
because
know.
of
Big,
the claim that was
big money.
denied. And it's what this young woman was going
Yeah.
through. Her claim was being denied. And this CEO, which is common, was making an annual salary of $10.2 million
Yeah.
in salary, benefits, and stocks. And
Okay.
it's
I
the,
had a baby
yeah,
in South Africa privately, and it cost me about under 1,000 Canadian. I think it was 5,000 South African dollars, which is
yeah,
relative to the economy. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Like I chose to get pregnant. I don't expect the government to do anything.
yeah,
Well, just in terms of saving time here and keeping things
yeah,
moving, why don't you bring up one of the slides? And I'd like to, while she does that, I'd like to encourage people to write down Diane's name. It's Diane Lefebvre on Facebook. That's one of the best ways to contact her. Lefevre.
yeah. Lef,
Lefevre, Lefebvre,
yeah, yeah,
and it's on the screen there on Facebook.
yeah, exactly.
And she's going to walk us through these slides and explain, I think, both opportunities, right? Because you've got two opportunities.
No, I have one. It's
Just
the
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 one.
yeah, it's the healthcare sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first is a news piece that explains the context in the States because for Canadians it's difficult for us to understand what's going on. And the second one, I'm going to show you how it actually works with the repricing of a person who
Okay.
has breast breast cancer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
can
Let's
you
see the
see?
slide. That's a
Can you
new, no,
see
it's
it
not
right
come
now?
up yet.
Up?
It hasn't come up yet.
Okay. So you can't see? Well, let's see if I can.
I think, I'm wondering whether can you,
And share? Oh, yeah.
yeah, go share
Yeah. I'm
screen.
going to share. Okay, here we go. All
And this is a
right.
term that most people, I think, would not have heard of, healthcare sharing. So maybe
Yeah,
we could talk about that afterwards.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's listen.
Can you
Everybody
see
listen to
this?
the vault. Yeah.
Okay.
More than 24 million Americans signed up for health insurance coverage this year through the ACA marketplace. But will they be able to stay on next year? Dr. John LaPook reports premiums are about to soar, and for many, that could make insurance under the Affordable Care Act unaffordable.
There are a lot of people that rely on the marketplaces to get coverage on their own, and this significantly shreds that safety net.
Joanne Volk is the co-director at the Center on Health Insurance Reforms at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. We spoke with her remotely.
So there's actually sort of a double whammy hitting here. People are going to pay higher premiums for their coverage. They're going to have less help to pay for them.
That double whammy starts with the cost for people getting insurance through the Affordable Care Act. They're set to go up on average by 15%, the most in 7 years. And as the price goes up, certain tax breaks are going down.
The law in place now that gives people bigger tax credits to pay their premiums will expire at the end of the year. And because of that, they expect that healthy people will not continue to stay enrolled and only sicker people will enroll in coverage.
That's the second punch of the double whammy. KFF, a health policy research group, says the loss of some tax credits will drive up out-of-pocket payments by over 75%. The Congressional Budget Office projects at least 4 million people will lose their coverage. On some level, is this sort of the equivalent of an Affordable Care Act repeal light?
Yes, absolutely. By one estimate, enrollment will be cut in half.
And what does that leave you thinking?
People, unfortunately, are not aware of what's coming down the pike. They're going to enroll in coverage and open enrollment this year as they would any fall, but they may not know until late in the year what their actual consequence will be for their premiums and their out-of-pocket costs.
It sounds like a major fear you have is people don't realize what's about to hit them.
Absolutely.
So, John LeBook, we're going to have the basic journalistic questions. First of all, who is going to be hit by these increases?
It's going to be people who are making too much money to be eligible for Medicaid, but not enough money to be able to comfortably afford insurance.
What about
That sounds like a lot of people.
All right, well, next month in August, you're going to start hearing from brokers and it's going to be online and people are going to be having to choose what plan they want. In November is open enrollment and the real sticker shock is going to hit them when they have to pay their premiums beginning of next year.
So they will have expected a certain amount and it's going to be a lot more than they expect.
Yeah, or they may have some warning.
And now tell me about what happens to the health system more broadly if people decide, you know what, it's too rich for me.
Yeah, that's the fear. And you heard about it in the piece. You know, what could happen is that healthy people, this has happened in the past, they say, you know what, I'm going to take my chances. I'm not going to get insurance. Well, the whole plan relies on healthy people paying premiums and not using up so much of the system. So if they're gone, that pool of insured people is sicker. And guess what happens? The premiums go up because the costs go up.
For everyone, Dr. John LePoop, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
So
I don't know if you want to share the next one right away, or should we, if you stop the share, we can have a quick chat before we go into the second one.
okay, let's see.
The main question I think for people is, okay, so your service offering this to people in the United States
Yep.
solves
so-
which aspect of that?
Yeah, it solves a lot of aspects. Healthcare sharing has been around for a long time. It's not a new concept. The Mennonites and the Amish use it, right? They pool in resources, and the company that I work with just has updated it with really, with technology that makes the pricing transparent and really speeds up the process. So it's transparent, it's fast, it's fair, and it's a lot cheaper because it is not for profit. So that's
So how does this, if you could explain, because
Yeah.
honestly, this is new to me, the sharing. Like I know what I was in a car cooperative, so I co-owned 1,000 vehicles or whatever. But
Yeah.
if you could explain this, say there's 10 of us or 100 of us, are we just all putting in less because we know that only a few of us are going to need most of that money? Is that the principle?
That is the principle, and there's another one called repricing, and that's what I'm going to share with you. Okay, here we go. There we go. Share that. All right. Can you
Great.
see
Okay.
this?
Second slide. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this is the bill of a woman who had breast cancer, and the hospital charged her this amount here. The first amount is for first chemo treatment. Okay, so basically she would have to pay, or the insurance would have to pay this amount. And what the company that I work for, the healthcare sharing, says they reprice. They have books that are basically just like for a car. When you bring a car in to have it repaired, the basic price for repairs are all listed in the book. It's the same thing for medical. So basically, they say, okay, you're overcharging by $164,000. You're overcharging by this much. Can you imagine?
That's well, I know that this is
Yeah.
happening. This is insane. Were
It
you
is
saying the
insane.
191 was the bill for the first or one round of chemo?
Yep,
That's how much it cost?
yep.
Okay, so then
And
where the sharing? So
so
the sharing is the difference. The eligible sharing is the 27.3.
exactly, they say this is how much this procedure actually costs. It's
Wow.
$27,000. So what you're looking at here, this amount here, 64, $164,000 is profit for the hospital and the insurance company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Scandal.
people are paying for that. So they go, okay, no, the procedure actually costs $27,000, and what is approved for sharing, depending on the person's deductible, is this amount here. So all of the members pool, like, because you pay monthly anyway, you pay monthly, you have a co-share that you pay monthly, yeah, like you would pay premium every month. And so everybody's pooling in, and they shared this amount, 24,000, and the member just had to pay this much. So
Wow. So this
yeah,
is based on, I would say, and you can explain it better, but this is a model. I can see why the Mennonites, and as you said, the
the
Amish,
Amish,
this
yeah.
is based on a principle of the users having a great commitment to an idea of like
Mm,
well-being, community,
yeah,
holistic kind of principles. People who are
exactly.
kind of out for themselves and trying to save money and don't interact with others, don't give, don't volunteer. They're not going to really grasp this. This is for
They're
people who
not.
really feel
Uh,
kind of more of a connection to the community and that we all affect one another. So that's
mhm,
interesting, right? From an emotional or a spiritual standpoint.
absolutely. It's values based.
Values. Yeah,
Yeah,
values.
exactly. It's values based. But people have this misconception that the insurance company pays for their bills. No, the insurance company doesn't pay. It's the other members that pay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, and it's the
exactly.
same thing here because if you don't pay your monthly co-share, you're out.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, let's get into the nitty gritty of who should be discovering you and contacting you. Okay. I
okay.
don't know if you want to put that away. It might be easier for the
Yeah.
audience, but so who are the people that we need to get this information to? Who's looking for this? Do you have any kind of a user profile? Like I think of myself and I think, well, I'm not unwell. Would I do this? I don't have any kind of money that I spend on medical or whatever. I had my
Yeah,
pregnancies 12 years ago.
yeah.
Who are the people that are your ideal potential customers who are looking for something like this?
Well, everybody's going to get shocked by the letter that they will receive from their insurance companies. To give you an idea, a new member, was paying $450 a month in premiums, received the letter from the insurance company, and they were asked to pay, they were going to pay as of January, $2,741 a month.
Everybody's going to drop out. Who can afford that, especially now?
Exactly.
That's just
Exactly.
one bill.
Yeah, and that's every month. So
So these
basically,
letters are going out now, did you
yeah,
say?
yeah, they started going out in November because November 1st until January 15th is open enrollment. So people are shopping and they're looking
Right.
at, they're trying to get a good deal. But honestly, they will never find a better deal than with this healthcare sharing company. They will not. They won't.
Okay, so we want
Yeah,
to get everyone in America.
I
We
know. I
want
know.
all of them to get onto your Facebook
I
page.
know. I
And what
know.
about a more specific demographics? Like obviously you don't need to reach children. You're looking for someone who pays the household bills. And I
Yeah,
would imagine a
exactly. Yeah.
woman, a woman who's making these decisions for the home, right?
Yeah, the women or well, often is the men too, but we're looking for it's good for people who are healthy to fairly healthy. Okay. And somebody who's had a prior condition is eligible if they haven't been sick for 3 years. So you have a
So they are
3 year.
eligible, did you say?
They are. If you,
Okay.
you have a 3 year kind of buffer, time.
Okay. So
Yeah.
people who are maybe expecting to have health issues, they should be looking at this.
They should if they're not sick right now,
Yeah.
you
But
know.
there's
Yeah.
a concern, okay, or
It
maybe
might be a
hereditary
concern.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so what
Yeah.
would their monthly premiums be if they were to use this service? You talked about their 400 going to 2,700.
Hmm.
So what will the new amount be?
The new amount, well, this person was able to stay at 450
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
for a family. Well, yeah, because
You're
you
a
can get
saint.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
It's amazing.
I don't know if you saw that message, but a message came up. We've just got 10 more minutes because we're using a short program on
Yeah,
Zoom.
yeah.
If you can change it, I can't change it from my end, but I want to make sure we get all the good stuff in.
Mm.
Okay, so just so everybody who's watching, please go to Diane's Facebook page. I think that's the easiest. You can see her name there on the screen. It will go in the links. Do you want to say your email so people can maybe
Yeah,
also write that down?
yeah, yeah. My email is hello@DianeHC for healthcare.com.
Okay,
Very
Diane the
simple.
Feb on Facebook, and anybody can contact me.
Yeah.
And let's
And
talk about Canadians who might be interested in this. Canadians who reside in the United States, or how does that
oh
piece work?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, first, maybe I'll say that you were asking how much are people expecting to pay. There is a tool where you can get a free quote instantaneously. You just, I'll give you the link. Anybody
Great.
who wants the link, I'll give them the link and they get a free quote. But to give you an idea, for individuals, it starts at $73 a month. For a family of three or more, because it doesn't change after three, up $378 a month.
Wow. Okay, great. So
So
that
I mean,
400 amount that you mentioned, was that for a family or was that just one woman?
for
Why
a
was yours
family,
higher?
for a
Okay,
family
for
of
a family. Okay.
three or
Okay.
more. Yeah. And there's no network restriction. In the States, they have networks, right? If you travel and you something happens to you and you're outside of your network, then you get, you know, charge the,
Oh,
the big price and you're not covered. So there is no network with this healthcare sharing company, none whatsoever.
now I really understand more because we've spoken about a little bit
Yeah.
in this journey of becoming friends, why you're so passionate about this. So why don't we bring back in this idea of free
For
money?
Canadians,
Well,
yeah,
freedom and wealth, and
yeah,
particularly
yeah,
saving money.
yeah,
But is this an opportunity that you are able to and want to in the future share with
absolutely.
other entrepreneurs? Is that
Yes.
how it works? You want to talk about that part?
Yeah, certainly. Basically, it is a network marketing opportunity, and so you build a team and you get clients. And like you said, who wouldn't want this in the States? So if you're a Canadian and you
Yes.
know people in the States, please do share because you're saving them thousands of dollars in the end, and yeah, so basically, you build a team, you get customers, and you get a recurring income. And that's the key, you know, is if you get 8%
I
off
mean,
of
why not everybody make a little bit of money out of doing this rather than these massive insurance companies profiting off it?
exactly,
I don't
that's
think
where it
anybody,
is.
especially Americans,
Yeah,
yeah, Americans, they understand that
yeah,
there's a little bit of money to be made in offering a service, and that's the capitalist model. But to
exactly.
to to more widely distribute those opportunities, that really is
That's
the essence of the show that I'm trying to build. And with you as the first
yeah,
guest, that
yeah,
the people who see these opportunities like you
yeah,
are going to be the ones who have the first take at them or will build them.
yeah. That's exactly it. It's the same thing as Uber, right?
Yeah.
Uber replaced taxis,
Yeah.
but it's just distributed more largely across a
So is
population.
that what's going to happen? Is what you're doing going to disrupt
It
and
is.
replace the current system?
It is already disrupting. And this company is only 5 years old, and
Yeah.
it's already disrupting the industry. So,
Okay.
yeah, it has massive potential, but right now we're just at maybe 1 or 2% uh,
Yes.
penetrating the market. So the potential is massive, massive for
Yeah, it's
anyone
like what
who wants
I'm
to
doing
sell
with
it.
my fashion. I'm in a secondhand reselling. They call reselling. The size of
Yeah.
this market is going to triple in the next 5 years.
Mm,
And I take it seriously or not seriously. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But
yeah.
well, kudos to you for having that vision and being there in the beginning, doing what you're. I had a couple more questions for you because I think we're going to run out of
Yep.
time.
Go for
Um,
it.
Okay, so for your vision of the future and what you're doing, talk about what would your ideal life be like in the next 5 or 10 years. You're doing this. The whole idea of free money is for
Yeah.
people to use the fact that we understand freedom so strongly now. And when we marry that with wealth creation, then incredible opportunities come. So what's your ideal work week and lifestyle week going to be like 5 or 10 years from now? Draw the picture for us for Canadians. Because everybody has those thoughts, right? What
Yeah,
do I
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
now?
Well, you know, I'm 63 and I still work. I'm still at work 40 hours a week. And no, that will not be part of that dream. I
Well,
won't
even
wake
just
up to go
working.
to a job.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
whereabouts are you in Quebec, roughly, as much as you want to say? Like not precisely, but what region of Quebec?
I'm in the Eastern Townships. So
Yeah.
close to the
Okay.
border of the States. So what I've been
Yeah.
doing is that I've been going over to the States and canvassing, going door to door, like talking to people in
Fantastic.
Stowe, talking to people in upstate New York, and yeah. So what ideally, what I'd like, you know, in 5 years, I'll be living in a warmer climate where I can wear a light shirt like this all year
Well,
round.
that's what I was asking. So you're going to go try and get down to Florida, or where are you going to go? Maybe you could get one of Trump's $1 million gold cards.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. But what I would like to do while I go down south, maybe I don't know, Florida, maybe. I was thinking more Central America, but maybe Florida, why not? Maybe Texas. I've been there,
Yeah.
it's cool. And but what I like to do is have a van, get a van and drive across the states and go to all the states
Oh
and
my
you
God.
know
And visit all these people that you're
visit
helping.
all these beautiful places, all these beautiful people, because Americans are so
Yeah.
frigging nice.
I
They
know, and they're
are.
generous.
And they're
Okay, well, let me
generous.
summarize this before this little computer turns off here.
Yep.
So, Diane, we want you to talk to Diane, get in touch with her. This is an opportunity for Canadians to build an independent business
Yep.
selling a service to Americans, and that's a 300 to 400 million person market. So, even though they're not Americans and they're not living in the United States, this is still a very real business and income opportunity to create wealth, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. Well, any last thoughts? I'm done on my side. So I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. And thank you, beautiful Diane, my friend from Quebec, for sharing this. We can do another meeting or whatever follow up. Any final thoughts for people before we go?
Yeah. I think people who are prepared and people who are not waiting to see what the government is going to do for them, but what they can do for themselves are the ones who are going to come out at the other end in a much better state. Whether it's people in the States waiting to see what the government is going to do for them with this healthcare situation, or whether it's people in Canada who are going to, you know, step up and build a business. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
That is, and
play it
that's the
well.
meaning of it. You speak French and I speak a bit entrepreneur. That's the
Yeah,
meaning of it, right? The person who takes first, the
yeah,
first taker.
yeah.
Well, I'm so proud of you. Kudos to you for seeing this. It's always hard in the beginning. I was watching a little map of entrepreneurship, and it's usually that first year where all the best seeds are planted before the money jumps, before the
Yeah.
growth jumps. And it's also in that first year where most people quit because they don't see the jump yet. So
Yes.
sticking it out and building in these early days, well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Susan.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you
too.
for
Okay.
the chance to share this.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, you can stop the recording.
Okay.